Next up, we have Bike by Tanger, featured in Geometry Dash is my understanding. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a Layman-Friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, if we somehow hit 10,000 subscribers before Christmas of 2025, I will play a single video game of the choice of the community. Artists, Tanger, let's collaborate. Any of my musical skills are at your service, whether it's guitars, Mongolian throat singing, you know, the good old ooh, 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 kind of thing, or regular. I have a whole spiel about that. Members get early access. I have a whole spiel about that and a bunch of other stuff at the end of the video, so stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video to read in full. Otherwise, let's do this. Bike. Let's go. Okay. The initial bit, I'm not entirely sure if this is part of the track or not, but if it is, it's gonna be really good, because we just got a very cool motif just here from the sound of the casino, of the slot machine. Motif, of course, being the smallest version of a musical idea, the essence from which everything else comes from. And now we're getting a speeding up, we're getting speeding up, so let's see where it goes. There we go! There we go! So, Escaper, that just means you get Rule 5'd if you win. Yeah, it just means you get Rule 5'd. Anyway, so yes, this is apparently a broken bike chain sound. And now we had, it went from the sound itself to now becoming part of the motif. This is a really cool thing that you can do, because basically, and by the way, yes, we now have, it only took me like 530 LFAs to figure out dark mode, so what we have now is called sampling. That is what has been done to the bike chain. So we're using the sound of a broken bike chain, and what has likely happened is that Tanger here has taken that, has gone into the DAW, dark mode, filling the background with black. Yes, Soul Creek, that's how dark mode works. It's either black or dark blue. That's usually dark mode from everybody. So, sampling is when you take something you recorded in your DAW. DAW is your digital audio workstation. So that's gonna be whatever software you use, right? In my case, I use Reason and I use Pro Tools. Those are the two softwares that I use. Logs, welcome today. How you doing? Yeah, like it's whatever dark tones, right? So I use Pro Tools. I use Reason. There's also like Audacity. There's GarageBand. There's a bunch out there. Cubase. There's a bunch of others. And the point of this being that Tanger came here and he grabbed what would otherwise be a very generic sound, in this case being, hang on, my guitar tuner is giving me an attitude, I'm gonna have to get a new one soon, is getting this sound very, very Cubase. No, I think it's Cubase. I think that's how it's spelled, Cubase. So believe it or not, I can help you with that. Wait, you can? Okay, we're gonna discuss that afterward. We're gonna discuss that. So let's take, for example, right? I want to make a very particular sound. I'm gonna grab these two boxes of Tic Tacs and I'm gonna mash them together, and then and that sound that I get is going to turn into an audio sample. So we're gonna have that sound, and it's gonna become like this, and it's probably gonna, like, you know, we're gonna see the audio file, and you're gonna have basically this, and this bit over here is the sound of the Tic Tac boxes clashing against each other. So what you can then do is that you can chop these around, you can modify them, switch around the pitch that you get in order to get notes out of this particular sound, and then you are just moving these around to make them your samples, and they will become your instrument, which is essentially what Tanger has done here, making an entire musical instrument synthesizing the sounds of a bike chain into now a usable musical instrument. By these means, 100% mayonnaise is an instrument. With this same process of sampling, you can make mayonnaise an instrument. Do with this information what you will. So yes, let's see where this goes. Okay, so yes, we have now a variation of the motif that we had. I think it's the same motif that we had at the start. That or a variation of the motif. We are doing sampling and on top of that, we are doing this like kill switch chopping with the samples, giving it that glitchy sound. And the way it works is basically you take the audio sample and you either delete bits of it, or you chop it, you cut it, and you extend it, cut it, extend, cut it, and so on and so forth to give it those little bits of moments of silence. So we're having that, we bring in the drum beat. Let's see where it goes. Oh yeah, and in this case... Oh my god, there's so much going on. Okay, so we crank up the sound of the bass to the point that it almost sounds like it's clipping, but it's not. It's just very saturating. Clipping, by the way. Clipping is what happens when your microphone or your capture device captures more sound than the device is designed to pick. So, for example, you will always see think of random influencers, and they have the clip-on microphones, but instead of wearing them when you're supposed to, like around the collarbone, around the neck, maybe something like that, they grab the microphone and they put it over here. And whenever you hear that, you will hear some distortion in their voice that is not human, right? Like it sounds like distortion. And what is happening is that the microphone is clipping. The microphone is capturing more audio than it is designed to catch. This is very, very common with lav microphones. Lav microphones being as I said, the clip-on microphones. You've probably seen these mini microphones that you've probably seen like in interviews, in the news, that kind of thing. These are very, very sensitive microphones, and they're designed to pick up audio from a long distance. Long distance being like this microphone that I'm using, the Shure SM7B, is designed for me to have my face this close to the microphone. These microphones are designed for that. And of course, I've gone through a couple of extra bits there to level the voice a little bit more. However, if you were to do this, if I were to put a lav microphone this close, it would clip and it would sound very broken in that sense. So we have that, and then of course we have the motif engaging in octave displacement. We start engaging in octave displacement. Octave displacement being a really, really cool way that you can develop material in which you displace which octave your material happens in, partially or completely. So when you're playing music, you're using notes. Your notes make scales. Let's have the example, the simplest example that we can have. We have the scale of C major. That is going to be all the white keys in the keyboard, and this is going to go C, D, E, F, G, A, and B, which is 7 notes, and then the 8th note is going to be C again, which is going to be called the octave. The octave. Then we're just going to add a couple more. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and B, and we're going to end it in C. So the way octave displacement works is that, let's say we have a super simple motif, C to D to E. Very, very nice, simple music motif. There you go. Super simple, super lovely. It is great. It is lovely. But then we want to engage in octave displacement. So what we're going to do is that the point of octave displacement is that we are still playing the notes C, D, and E, but not in that order. And by the way that octaves work is that the lower you are, the lower it's going to sound. The higher you are, the higher it's going to sound. Left to right is usually how they work because the keyboard, the piano, of course. You have the different different octaves kind of thing. So the way octave displacement works, as I said, we are going to be doing the exact same melody with the notes in the exact same order, just starting from different points. So in this case, let's say we have C, D, and E. We are going to go, let's say, C up here, D down here, E down here. So first original sounds like this. Next one is going to sound like this. So now the music is going downwards, but the notes are still going upwards because we have engaged an octave displacement. And we can do whatever combination of these we want in whatever order. We can keep some of the notes in the original octave. We can mess them around. It's really absolute freedom. And right now, Tanger is pretty much displacing most of the motif, putting it up an octave, and leaving some down lower. If you want to listen to a really good song that has octave displacement or track, listen to Goat by Polyphia. This is a very good example of octave displacement in use. When you hear it, the first melody that plays is the original melody, and when the guitars come in, they engage in octave displacement from another couple of things. So it's insanely good, and right now Tanger is doing something like this on top of having this insane drums going on. Let's see where it goes. Oh, here's a little break there. Ooh. Okay, so we have a little moment there, a little music, a little break there where we play the phrase, and now we bring this really cool. We change the drums around a little bit, and now we are engaging that kill switch that we were doing before, that chopping off the audio samples, and we're now doing it to the beat. Yep, gating. I think it's gating. I think it's the term. But now we are just. This is really good. This is really good. And this goes hard, mainly because of the bass. The bass is super exaggerated in this case, but it's not that bassy. It's very interesting. Let's see where it goes. Okay, there we go. Okay, we bring back the other version. That second version that we had. Other sample, and... So now we engage in technically instrumentation, and we change the instrument. We are now playing this on a regular synthesizer rather than the original thing. Would this qualify as funk? I guess so. I like it. I like it. Like, yes, you put this in like an obnoxious meme. Yes, this would qualify as funk. This goes hard. So yes, now we're having the original melody being played in a different synth. Let's see where it goes. The fuck is funk? Solkrig, you fellow old one. It is what the kids nowadays would call meme music. It's electronic, it's EDM. It's EDM with an exaggerated bass, like the one that we're hearing right now. Yeah. Anyway, let's see where this goes. So we remove the bass and... Okay, we drop the beat, really nice drop, and we now engage in elongation. Elongation is another method in which you can develop your material. And what elongation does is that you slow down whatever you're doing. As you hear right now, we are now doing basically the same motif that we were doing before, but now it's taking longer, and we're holding the notes for longer, that kind of stuff. That is elongation through and through. The opposite of elongation, of course, being reduction. And this track right here is a very clear example of elongation. I like this because it's one of the clearest examples I think we've seen of this. We are now adjusting to the time, to the rhythm of the dropping of the beat, and we are elongating the melody. Let's see where this goes. Ooh. Okay, so over here. So that bit over there where the melody changes rhythm and the bass drum hits along with it, the bass drum is now engaging in what is called accents. Accents in music is for accentuation. Accents therefore mean that you are highlighting specific points in your melody or your rhythm, not necessarily in your beat. They can sometimes be in like the drum beat, but they highlight specific points in whatever you want. You're highlighting something to bring it forward to your attention. So if we were to bring, again, the little motif that we had, and I said, okay, I want to accentuate E, like the final note. So instead of going like this, now we're gonna go like this. That's it. We added more notes to this. We are adding more layers to this, playing the same thing so that we can accentuate that kind of thing. And you can basically do this as long as it's not the whole thing, because if it were to be the whole thing, then it would become a doubling. A doubling would just be this, right? An accent would be or. So as long as it's not the entirety of the time that you have other layers going and doing the same thing or highlighting specific points, it's an accent. So yes, we are having this now. Let's see where it goes. We return to the elongated version. It's such a good beat. And alright, we bring back the original octave displacement and elongated version of the motif. How are you gonna end this? You run it one more time, and we let it run one more time. We run a cadential phrase or a cadential motif, and it is done. So, a cadential phrase or motif is for cadence. When you're making music, you're doing one of two things. You are building tension or you are resolving that tension. That point in between, we usually call the cadence. Now, a cadential phrase or a cadential motif is usually going to be something that is going to sound very similar in most of the time. These are phrases that are kind of cliche, so to speak. And something to know about regular motifs is that motifs are very temperamental. Very, and Basterd, yes, I know that was a broken bike chain that was used for this. Motifs are very temperamental. They're very jealous. If you're not constantly giving the spotlight to your motif, you will slowly risk more and more your piece sounding disjointed or incoherent. It's just how music behaves. However, if you include a cadential phrase or a cadential motif, the motif forgives that, because it is the part that does not add much else and that is designed to build or loop back to the next section or the next part. So, for example, some of the more famous cadential motifs, or something like this, that kind of thing, where it's designed to be very cadential. It's designed to be for the end, towards the end of whatever it is that you're making. And Pork, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the mosh pit. Welcome today. How you doing? So yes, we're having that. We end up using a cadential melody over here at the very end, which is not very conducive. Like, it's very different from what we've used. However, because it's a cadential melody, we get away with it. And there we have it. We finish the song. We finish the track. And that's that. And that's that. That was really fun. That was really fun. Look, people have their opinions about funk. Many people dislike funk because they dislike the memes that they see funk being used for. There are some that absolutely are being done. There are many funk tracks that are being used, that are being made for the purposes of being obnoxious. The purpose of funk is to be obnoxious. So in that sense, it fulfills its purpose. So there you go. That was Bike by Tanger, featured in Geometry Dash, is my understanding. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, if we somehow hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube before Christmas of 2025, on top of doing the fanfiction audiobook thing, I will also play a video game of the choice of the community, whatever y'all want, live on stream. We'll do a couple of streams of those. And we might also do giveaways as usual, you know, that kind of stuff. This has to be achieved through legitimate and honest means only. No account duping, no botting, no buying followers, no alt accounting, no rat behaviors like that. Go share the videos, the streams with your friends, with your families, with your family's friends, with your friends' families. Those are two very distinct concepts, by the way. With your online and offline communities, share these videos with everybody that you know. Use the hype function on YouTube. We have a group on the Discord that coordinates for that, so link down below, go coordinate. And yes, artists, Tanger or otherwise, any artists on YouTube, I want to collaborate. If you want any of my musical skills, whether it is my guitars, my Mongolian throat singing, you know, the good old kind of thing, or regular singing, voice acting, or if you want help figuring out something for your compositions, reach out, let me know, we'll make it happen. And if you're in the audience and you know anybody who could benefit, let them know, reach out, that kind of thing. Please do not harass anyone, please do not spam anyone, be cool about it, don't be a rat. Members get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of your tier, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs. So become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I will be linking it in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the pinned comment on this video. It has the instructions on what to do. And if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you are not in Europe, do not worry. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch. So if you live in Jeju and you're like, yeah, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't live there. Do not worry. Just go to Discord or Twitch. They're both linked down below, and they have this schedule showing in your local time zone. And follow the gaming channel. I have a gaming channel because, of course, I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Basterd. That's where I put the gaming after show recordings. When they happen, we record them live on stream, and the recordings go there. Link down below, or just search on YouTube. Same username as James R. Basterd. Just swap the J for a G, and you got it. And, yeah, there you go. There you go. Bike by Tanger. Good stuff, man. That was fun. That was really fun, really fun. But yeah, let's move on.